Flash flood warning? Well, that doesn't sound good. Ah, then that sounds like thunder, doesn't it? Well, I thought I saw lightning flashing over there on the left. And you know, Al's always very good at predicting the weather. He says we're in for rain. He's right. We've got rain over on the left. Thanks, guys. That was great. Guys, are you listening to me up there? What you're seeing on screen was filmed right here. And from old Mexico, or China, as the case may be, we're going to take you into the Old West. We've done hundreds of westerns here. Take a look.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this town don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I heard this where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fella.
Or you can count on me, pal. Yeah.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
Now remember what I told you about what these buildings are made out of? I've got a perfect example. The last building over here on the left. From the front it looks like a brick building, but as we circle around it, you'll see that those bricks really are just fiberglass and 2x4s. It's also a perfect example of a facade. There is no back to that building. We were never going to photograph the back, so we never bothered to build it. And over on the right, you'll see a little lake. This little lake is used all the time and for all sorts of different purposes. But there's one thing we would not use our lake for, and that would be an underwater filming scene. Because we have something much better. We have an underwater filming tank. You'll see that just ahead of us here on the left. So when we have an underwater scene to film, we fill that tank with water, throw the actors inside. We have the openings around the side, so camera and cameraman stay nice and dry while the actors splash about inside. That tank was used for an episode of the TV series Bones. That is a show that does not normally film here on our lot, but they have been here a couple of times, and I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. But right now I'd like to talk about a little more about our lake here. This little lake was used frequently for Desperate Housewives. Now that was a show that did film here on our lot. In fact, they spent all back to King Kong. When Peter Jackson was making his movie, he used all kinds of special effects, including traditional ones, as you're seeing on screen here. We have the SS Venture approaching Skull Island. You know what? Both the ship and the island are miniatures. And we're going to show them to you. And to do that, we're going to take you right through our little lake. Yes, through the little lake. We are in Hollywood. Anything's possible. The late Charlton Heston parted the waters of the Red Sea in the film The Ten Commandments, and I think it'd be a very nice tribute if we did the same thing, parted the waters of this little lake. So I'm going to count to three. At the count of three, let's do our very best Charlton Heston impersonation. Skull Island ever got. It never got any bigger than that. So as you can see, here at Universal Enthusiasm and True Blood. Now that's a show that deals with vampires and werewolves. I'm sure they felt right at home here. These streets are probably best known for all the wonderful monsters who used to wander through here. We are talking the very best monsters.
Think Universal will think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride Frankenstein,
The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by the two. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney. I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They're still ringing in our memories now, and we love them.
And all of our classic monsters always seem to wind up in the Court of Miracles here on the right. Courtyard's looking pretty calm and peaceful these days. But all of our classic monsters used to hang out here. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Invisible Man. Of course, we didn't see him too often, but he used to hang out here all the time. We are famous for our classic monster movies. Most of them were made in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, way before the age of computers. So the special effects that you see in those films are not CGI or computer generated. They're what we call physical effects or mechanical effects. And they might not be as spectacular as what you see nowadays, but you know what? A lot of those special effects were invented for those movies. Now, we had some great ray screaming that just really got our monster movies going. And we hit the ground running with the release of two movies.
I am Dracula.
There you go, Bela Lugosi, I Am Dracula. And, of course, the release of Frankenstein. Now, there's Bela Lugosi, who starred as Count Dracula and became a huge, huge hit. You know, a big star as a result. He was supposed to play the lead in our next movie, Frankenstein. Not Dr. Frankenstein, but the monster. He turned the part down. He did not want to spend 8 hours a day in makeup, 6 hours getting the makeup put on, 2 hours having the makeup put off, taken off at the end of the exactly what they were looking for. We're going to take you inside of Soundstage 50. We are going to create a mechanical effect for you. Now, what are we going to create? How about an 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale? Inside of a soundstage like this, we can recreate an earthquake with absolute safety and with total and complete control. So, if you're ever going to experience an earthquake, this really is the very best way to do it, don't you think? And trust me on this one, you do not want to be standing up in here. You want to be sitting down for this. You really, really